What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar PYT, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome, guys, to the brand new show, ladies and gentlemen. Blaugrana Talk, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, big up to every single one of you guys who are already in the building. I got the panel in here. Let's start with man like Elias Kulis podcast. Long time no see, man. What's going on, bro?
Thank you for having me on the channel, Omar. Absolutely fantastic to be back. Our schedules weren't able to coincide, but I'm absolutely ecstatic to be back and ready to talk about some Barcelona as the new season has officially started, and it's going to be super super exciting to get started.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Listen, no, like, listen, man. It's been boring, man. The summer, no Barcelona football, just having to do transfers. But now, the season will start. There's so much to talk about. But man, like Jonas is also in the building as well. What's going on,
Yo,
Jonas?
big up. Yo, listen, big up people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not easy to win in the first game of the season, Atleti. You know what I'm saying? Real Madrid next. But,
Mm.
hey, guys, it's going to be a good show. Make sure to smash up the likes, right? We won our first game. We usually struggle in the first game. We struggled a bit, but,
Mm.
we got a lot of good things to talk about. You know what I'm
Oh, of
saying?
course, man. Listen, listen, listen. We obviously we're gonna get into all of that, but big up to every single one of you guys who are already in here. Big up to Ronell. How you doing? How you doing? Appreciate you so much. Big up to
Big
every
up.
single one of you guys. Big up to Street Fighter. Big up to all the people who are watching from Coolest Podcast channel as well. Big up to every single one of you. Big up to my brother Vigo every single time. And yeah, man, listen. Of course, I know you guys obviously watch the game. I'm sure some of you guys watch the Atletico versus Espanyol game. Like Jonas said, it's not easy to win your opening game now, is it? Everyone was talking about dark horses, La Liga this season. Atletico are building a good team. They have got all those great ballers like Bayana, like Cardoso, all of those great players, Thiago Almada, right? Raspadori, and they're still playing park the bus football in 2025, bro. Like
Against against Espanyol, losing against Espanyol. That couldn't be Barcelona. That
Can I,
couldn't be
listen,
Barcelona.
Let me say this, okay? Free Julian Alvarez. This guy
yes,
keeps
sir.
on doing absolute madness after madness, and then Julian Alvarez is just losing, and he's a guy who's won everywhere until he got to Atleti. So free Julian, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, of course. Listen, free Julian, and listen, he actually played well, but once again, bro, when you're surrounded by bums, what is there for someone to do? But listen, let's get into it, guys. Obviously, Blaugrana talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're here to talk about Barcelona. Okay, we don't talk about Atletico and those scrubs. We don't talk about scrubs. We're talking about the champions. We're here to talk about the champions defending their crown. And yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, it was day one of Barcelona defending their crown. We went off against Mallorca. People were telling me, do you remember, Jonas? People told us that Mallorca
Yeah.
opening day going to be tough. That's a stadium that a lot of teams struggled with. Real Madrid last season opened the season against Mallorca, and they drew 1-1. And everyone was like, "Yo, I remember last season when Mallorca drew against Real Madrid." Well, guess what? We ain't Real Madrid. We put five past them last season, and they were lucky, bro. We decided to take it easy on them because we smell blood in the water. We should have absolutely battered them, but in the end, it was 3-0. Perfect performance, right? Results amazing, clean sheet, everything went our way, right? But in this show today, we're gonna completely dissect this game because there's lots of positive, lots of it. But we also got a few negatives here and there that we gotta get into. But I wanna first of all ask you guys, right? Elias, opening game, 3-0, amazing performance. What was your thoughts on the first game?
Perfect start. Perfect start to the league season. Barcelona getting the 3 points. I know we're going to be looking at some words from Hansi Flick later on,
Yeah.
but we had some fantastic football being played. I thought Barcelona, they played really well in that first half, able to take advantage. They started off really well in the opening 10 minutes. You had Lamine Yamal cooking, absolutely amazing pass to Rafinha. Rafinha, just it seems like he hasn't stopped from last season. He's continuing that goal scoring run, able to create magic, and you had as well a controversial, I would say, goal for the second, and Barcelona able to take advantage of what would later be two red cards. I don't even remember the last time in a footballing match there were two players sent off in the same team, a team being, put down to 9 men. I actually don't remember the last time that happened, but Barcelona then in the second half in cruise control, Lamine Yamal scoring a great goal for to end off the game. And overall, I think it was a perfect way to start the new season. No injuries, you have rotations, able to get the 3 points, easy win, and we move on from there. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, great performance. Absolutely. Jonas, what about you, man? What did you think about the incredible performance?
Yeah, in my opinion, I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative, right? And listen, I'm so
Hey.
happy Hansi Flick called it out because I was happy. Number one, we won the game. Winning the opening game, even for Barcelona, is not a given. We've seen under Xavi Hernandez both the years, right? I think Rayo Vallecano at home. Remember the summer we got Lewandowski,
Right.
Rafinha, Koundé, just to draw 0-0 to Rayo. And then the year after we drove to Getafe away, right? Some controversy in that game. And then we had last year where we struggled against Valencia and Mestalla. So I'm happy overall that we won, right? Of course, 3 points first game. It's so hard to win your first game, right? But I was like, we could have been so much better. Like that. That's my thing. And you know what? In that second half, I'm very happy Hansi Flick called it out. And I know we're gonna speak about it later, but
Yeah.
overall, great moments of quality from Rafinha, Lamine, right? Ferran Torres playing to the whistle was still a really good strike. So
Mhm.
I was happy. I was very happy, but with the result. But I think the performance we can still go up like 5 gears. Omar, could you imagine if Barca were like in mid-season form against 9 men? We could have scored 9 goals. I'm not joking. Like we could have scored 9-10. So
We
that's
Yeah.
we
my
could we could have seen double digits.
Well,
exactly.
Honestly,
mhm.
we could have seen double digits because we've seen last season Barcelona score 7, score 5 against
Yeah.
11v11, and in an opportunity where they're down to 9 men and Barcelona they have their best players out there, we could have genuinely
Mhm.
scored double digits. Honestly, it was there for the taking. But as you said,
Yeah.
Barcelona let their foot off the gas, playing at
Yeah.
50-60% of what they usually are at, and you saw Barcelona get a 3-0 victory.
Yeah. I mean, look,
Can't be
for
too much.
people, obviously, some people have a lot of things that they've been saying. You've seen it. People are like, oh, Barcelona getting like the red cards. Like, that's the biggest talking point in the
Yeah.
first half. But let's be clear here. Both of those red cards were completely justifiable reds.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they were. We we had like the first one was a double yellow. It was a double
Yep.
yellow. And
Yeah.
it's rightfully so, right? At the end of the day, Morales should have been smarter. You don't like how can you be on a yellow and commit a tackle like that? That was a yellow card offense, 2 yellow card offense, red card. Second red, the second red was a clear red card because we've seen that given multiple times. We've seen it happen in the Premier League. Like remember Edison when he literally like stamped Edison, Mane. I'm sorry, Mane when he like stamped Edison in the face, straight red. So it was clearly a red. And at first, when I first saw it, I thought, okay, maybe he hit him like in the shoulder or on the chest, which would have still counted. If he hit him in the chest, I think that would have still been a red card for me. But I was like, maybe he might have, maybe he might have not, maybe he might have just glazed him. But then when they showed the replay, and that's why VAR got involved, and then you saw he actually hit him square in the ear. That's a red card offense, and they were both red card offense. And look, for me, the first half was an incredible first half. We scored a lot of goals, right? And I was very impressed. Obviously, the highlight for me, I was happy to see Rafinha on the score sheet because a lot of people, they had a lot of things that they said. They were saying that, listen, Rafinha, could he be a one season wonder? I'm sorry, bro. He took that goal very, very well, and I was happy. I was over the moon because I'm like, listen, for me, I just want to see this guy cook. That's it. You understand what I mean, right? Because if he cooks, that just increases our chances this season. You understand what I mean, right? To go on and win everything we can win this season, right? And then Lamine Yamal, he played very, very well. But this is the thing. I have been getting flamed by everyone for my take on Yamal. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's been getting way too personal. Because I'm not someone that lets people like opinions get to me. But people have actually been attacking me because I dare to say that wasn't Yamal's best performance. Even though on paper the guy got a goal and an assist, right? Yes. But if you're someone who watched the whole game, which I did, I'm sure you did, Elias, you did, and so did you, Jonas, right? We watched the whole 90 minutes. I said, for me, Yamal scored. But if you look at that first half, I felt like he wasn't giving the ball, he wasn't passing the ball enough. I feel like for a long time he was hugging onto the ball for way too long. I was seeing Rafinha making runs, waiting for the ball, and Yamal is still dribbling. I'm looking at Ferran Torres going in areas. Why are you not releasing the ball? I see Balde, or I'm sorry, Garcia running behind him. I'm like, okay, pass him the ball. What's going on? You understand what I mean? And you can see, I think Flick might have told him, because you saw in the second half, he was actually passing the ball more than dribbling. I think Flick might have been the one to tell him, yo, you need to calm down, bro. You're literally holding on to the ball for too long and not giving him the chances. And in the second half, I'm not going to lie, I feel like the team felt like maybe the win was in the bag. I think that's what it is. The team felt the win was in the bag, and they were like, listen, we don't want to push it. We don't want to push ourselves too hard. First game of the season, let's just chill and, just take the 3 points and go back home. But you can see Flick wasn't happy with it. And I'm going to show you guys a quote, but he was not happy. And knowing Flick, I'm not surprised to hear that Flick wasn't happy. I knew Flick wasn't going to be happy with this. But what did you think, Elias, of Yamal's performance, in your opinion?
Okay, so my take on Lamine Yamal's performance is I thought it was a good game. I thought it was a good game. I know it wasn't his best game. Lamine Yamal has had better games than that, than what he did against Mallorca. But at the end of the day, it's about that consistency. We want a great Lamine Yamal, but I'm not going to get upset if we have this Lamine Yamal, for the majority of the season. And then for those key games, then you see, that 10 out of 10, Lamine Yamal, the Lamine Yamal that is decisive. Because even though, yes, he lost the ball a couple of times. Yes, he made, some silly passes. His decisions sometimes wasn't there. Right. He still got a key assist that opened up the scoring. And he scored the winner. He scored, the goal to just close out the game, just ease off the pressure. He was still very good on the night. I'm not gonna say, hey, Lamine Yamal was
no,
was
he
a bad
wasn't
game or
trash.
anything like that.
I think you know what it is with me, and this is why I feel like people don't understand with me. My criticism is not me saying that, oh, Yamal was trash. He should do this. I wasn't even angry when I was doing match reaction. This is the thing. People just heard me being critical of Yamal and they got angry. But if you actually see the way I talked about it, I said, Yamal, for me, I have such high standards for this guy. He's the number 10. He's the superstar. He's the king. Like, he's got the crown, bro. You saw it even in the celebration. He's got the number 10. He clearly wants that pressure. You understand what I mean, right? So obviously, with that comes pressure. People are always gonna break your match, your performance down, and they're gonna be like, "Okay, I love that you got the goal assist, and I love your performance. You cooked today, but bro, relax. I feel like you could have had you had one assist. You could have had 4 assists in the game.
Exactly. Well, of
you
course.
You feel me? Yeah.
No, of course. When you look at the context of the game, you're playing against 9 men. Mallorca, they have no attackers. They're playing without attackers, basically. If Barcelona, they were much more intense, much more, driven and hungry for the goals, which we're going to be talking about it. But we could have seen, Lamine Yamal get a hat trick. Barcelona score 6, 7, 8 goals potentially. But at the end of the day, Barcelona get the 3 points, and I understand the frustration, but overall, I'm glad we got the 3 points. We move on.
Yeah, I mean, look, for as obviously content creators, right? We break the game down, and I was just breaking the game down. I'm not even overly critical of Yamal. Don't get it twisted. Yeah. Right? When I remember even in the FC Como game, people were very on my chat being so critical of Yamal's performance. I said, bro, respectfully, for me, Yamal can do that in preseason. I don't even care when you do that in preseason, right? I'm just like, okay, in the season, I'm like, okay, just chill. You feel me, right? Just calm down and play. Don't play it safe, but don't overdo it. Because even Ronaldinho, my favorite player of all time, we always knew that guy was a human highlight reel, one of the best entertaining footballers football has ever seen. But you know what? No one ever called Ronaldinho selfish, because he always knew when to pass the ball. And he knew when to assist, when to score. That's why his GA was always incredible. No one ever accused him of that. So with me, with Yamal, I'm like, yeah, man, just relax sometimes. There's a time and a place for it. But still great performance. And this is the thing, right? In a game like that, where I felt like he didn't have his best game, For him to get a goal and assist, and I can still sit here and say he didn't have his best game, shows the high standards I have for this kid. I believe that this
Exactly.
kid is the best player in the world right now. So
Bro,
I'm gonna treat him like the best player in the world.
Omar, let me say this, okay? I'm not hating on Lamine. I love the celebration. I call him the best player in the world. But my thing is, Lamine Yamal could play way better. And what is the reason why I call Lamine Yamal the best player in the world? The reason why is because his decision making is the best in Europe, easy, right?
Yes.
So when I'm seeing Lamine Yamal, and you know what makes it frustrating, guys? I don't hate Lamine. Lamine's my favorite player currently in football. It's just that, dude, when I see you have the best decision making under Xavi and Flick last year, and then you're legitimately, I know you're choosing not to pass, bro, because you're very good, bro. You see these passes. You can do a half field Travella. You could do all these incredible passes that, let's be honest, if it's Gavi or Fermin, I'm not blaming them because I don't think they could even pull it off. But Yamal, it's just high expectations with Yamal that I felt like he was ignoring Ferran and Dani Olmo and Fermin and Rafinha, who made good runs, and Eric Garcia. And I was like, dude, I'm not hating on Lamine. Lamine's my guy, but it's like, come on, man. Like, I just feel like you could have been better. You know, I'll put it this way. If Lamine Yamal was, like, passing the ball, he would have got a goal and, like, 4 assists. He easily could have. And, you know, I know a lot of people are going to say reactionary, but I just think it's the truth, bro. I was kind of frustrated with that. And once again, it's like, if it's Ferran or Rashford who makes these mistakes, I'm not mad because they're not Lamine Yamal. They never had that elite decision-making, right? But Lamine Yamal, you have the elite decision-making. You are the best player in the world right now, in my opinion. So why are you bogging? Just pass the ball. You're going to get it back.
Do you guys think that it's more of the circumstances of the match? Because I think those 2 red cards play a lot into the equation. If it's 11v11, it's very close. The scoreline is 1-0 or 0-0. Then I think you see a Lamine Yamal maybe look for those passes a little bit more. But as Barcelona, they are in a super favorable situation. Maybe him being young as a teenager, him having that ego, which is what makes him so great. Mm-hmm. Him, then saying, okay, we're up 2-0. Let me just take the shot. Let me go for it. Okay. I don't think there's anything really too negative or too critical in order to say about Lamine Yamal's games. Of course, it's not perfect. It wasn't a perfect game, but you're just you're not looking for perfect. In my opinion, that's my thinking.
No, I mean, yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, as fans, we're gonna, obviously, I still think that Yamal had a great performance. Right, I'm not gonna sit here before anyone says, "Oh, Omar is saying Yamal." Here's the thing, guys. I have such a high standards for this guy, but truth be told, he got a goal and assist. And you know what? One thing I love about Yamal, and this is what I'll give him credit for, right? You could see that in the second half when Flick might have sat down with him and let him know that, okay, man, I need you to release the ball sometimes because I feel like you're overdoing the dribble. Yamal clearly understood the message, and you saw in the second half he changed his game, which tells me that he's someone that takes feedback very, very well. You understand what I mean, right? He's not one of the people where his ego is so big, he thinks that, oh, why is these people criticizing me even though I got an assist in the first half, right? Clearly, he's someone that takes feedback well and say, okay, cool, no problem. I'll do this in the second half. You feel me, right? And I like that about him. But listen, let's get into another player.
Wait, Omar, can I say one thing? You know where it is? You brought up the assist. If you can get that assist out of nowhere to Rafinha, brother, you could have saw Rafinha and Ferran some other times. That's my thing. That pass to Rafinha was world class. He put on a play, right? Like Rafinha could not miss. And that was out of nothing. So that's my issue with Yamal. I'm like, dude, I know you see Ferran, bro. Ferran's busting a guy. It's a good run, bro. Just give him the ball. And I'm not even the biggest Ferran fan, but, dude, the way that he's been cooking, he's probably going to score. And that's my one frustration. I hope Flick talks to him. That's all I'm going to say. I know this is the thing, man. Yamal is the first game. So I'm not going to be overly shouty and critical, guys. It's the first game. And I'm sure that even in the next game, because this is the thing with Yamal. First game, second, maybe from now on we will see him make better decision making, right? So I'm not going to hold this against him, but I need to talk about another player, right? I want to talk about Joan Garcia, the goalkeeper. Oh, okay.
Now, Elias, I have not seen you in a long time, bro. Last time we did a show, because you're one of the biggest anti-Ter Stegen people, and ever
Yeah.
since the whole shenanigans with Ter Stegen has happened, I have not been on stream with you once. Throughout this, I'm like, bro, if there's one person whose opinion I've wanted to hear about the Ter Stegen news, it's you, because you've been anti-Ter Stegen for a
Oh,
very long time.
yeah,
But
yes, yes. You know, in regards to Ter Stegen, I've wanted him out from the club. You know, what 5, 6 years, so something like that. Ever since Anfield, I'm like, get this guy out, get this guy out. You know, I'm sorry. After conceding some of those that we conceded, I'm like, nah, get this guy out of here. But you know, this past summer, you've seen that relationship between Barcelona and Ter Stegen, you know, degrade and become toxic. You know, and just recently it's sort of mended again. You know, they're sort of good terms, but you know they're holding each other at arm's length and everything. Ter Stegen out for 4 to 5 months, but you generally saw just Ter Stegen just uh, I don't want to say it was he's basically crying that Barcelona they brought in a keeper to just replace him. That's basically what the entire summer was about. Because Barcelona they brought in someone to literally replace him and take his minutes. You saw Ter Stegen create this whole fiasco, this whole mess, and then you saw his true colors being exposed and everything. And I'm so glad. You know, obviously I'm not happy that he's injured because you never want someone to be injured. But I'm so glad that he's not in the team.
on the pitch, on the pitch.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
But listen, let's talk about. Listen, that's why I don't even want to spend too much time on Ter Stegen, because
Yeah.
this is not a because we don't talk about players who are not available. Let's talk about who is on the pitch. Let's talk
Joan
about his
Garcia.
replacement.
Joan
Man
Gar-
like Joan. Listen. Before I let you guys say, let me quickly tell you guys, man. Do you guys understand? When I was watching the game, I saw a stat right before the final halftime. The goalkeeper for Leo Roman, the goalkeeper of Mallorca, made one save, and our goalkeeper made two. To put that into context, we were battering them on the other side. But it shows you how locked in our goalkeeper is, that every time Mallorca thought that they were going to go in and score, Jean Garcia is like, all right, listen, man, I may not be busy today, but don't try me. And you know what I loved about his saves, right? You see, whenever like Morici or any of their players were like taking shots from outside the box, powerful shots in front of him, this guy is so chilled. Like he doesn't even need, like he's not making extravagant saves when the ball is literally right next to him. He's just making it look easy because he's that calm under pressure. He's not worried about when the ball is coming near him. And you can see his movement, the amount of times he was getting out of his box so quickly. He knew when to get out. Like even in the second half, there was a moment where he went out of his box, got the ball, nearly started a counter, which Ferran Torres ended up missing. Bro, when I looked at Jean Garcia, and I saw the same thing in the SC Como game, the amount of saves he was making in that second half when Como were getting a lot of chances, I said, bruh, we have landed on a goal mine. This guy right here, our goalkeeping issues, bro, is resolved, man. I didn't want to. I'm not one of these people that rush into conclusions, but brother, I'm sorry, bro. What I've seen from Joan Garcia tells me this, brother, our goalkeeping issues is fixed. Because one thing this showed me is that this brother is focused. He knows his job. He's not worried about how many times he's getting, how many chances the other team is getting. He's like, bro, when they get a chance, I'm ready. I love that, bro. Keep locked into the game. Forget about what the attack is doing. Worry about you. When the counter attack starts, you're ready. Because you're like, all right, listen, you guys want to test me? No problem. I'm right here. And they tried to test him, and they failed. Even Morici was moving. Bro, what the hell? The goalkeeper had every right to come out and try to get the ball. And he did what he did. He went out of his box, and Morici got red carded. Why? Because Joan Garcia is smart. He knew he was likely to get the ball, and he did. But, bro,
I mean, Joan Garcia, incredible. I've been speaking about him, you know, in these past couple of games. He's such a breath of fresh air, just a keeper who's no nonsense, who just does everything right. When Barcelona they have the ball, he makes the right decision. When a shot, you know, comes his way, when he's forced to make a save, he makes a save. You know, it's so simple, routine I would say goalkeeping actions that make you so good. He makes it look easy, and that's the quality of a good keeper. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I could genuinely see this becoming a historic signing, a signing that sets us up for success for the next decade or so. Joan Garcia, he's so good. And yesterday, you saw him being involved in every single action of play. Mallorca, they had instances where they were able, to get by Barcelona's defenders. Mudiki had a good shot. What happened? Joan Garcia, right place, right time. He didn't have to make an extravagant save. He didn't have to, go and flying due to bad positioning. No, right place, right time, simple save. You saw him, giving passes. His distribution was absolutely fantastic. There was one sequence of play where he managed to get a Mallorca defender book because of his throw. Rafinha was going in behind. The defender has to pull him down. And so, boom, right there. You saw the distribution on the ball. It's just overall, in every single aspect of play, he's just so dominant. And something that I'm super excited about is him dominating the box and dominating the area when those set pieces come, because one of Ter Stegen's weaknesses was in the air. One of his many weaknesses actually was him, his ability in the air. And Joan Garcia, because of his tall stature, he's able to cope with that a lot better. And you saw Barcelona struggle, last season due to those, those set pieces. Imagine if you had, a Joan Garcia in goal. Maybe we don't concede as many, and so I'm super excited to have an actual goalkeeper at the helm.
Yeah, you know what I would say about Jan Garcia? He's just, bro, Omar. See, the reason why I've been Ter Stegen out for a while is because when I was saying Ter Stegen is not amongst the best goalkeepers and he's at one of the best clubs in the world, Jan Garcia, I don't care, bro. I think he's already a top 10 goalkeeper. I think that's fair, right? And bro, I think like Elias said, I think Jan Garcia could be a very good goalkeeper at Barcelona. Like, I genuinely rate this guy. At Espanyol, I wanted him, and there's nothing else I could say about him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man, bro, that performance for me, that's what it is. His performance is not obviously gonna stick out, but it shows you, right? You're someone who watches the whole match. You see the little things that the players who are not like being tested do, right? At the end of the day, Joan Garcia didn't have a lot to do, but trust me, when they tried to get to him, he was ready, and I love that about him. You understand what I mean, right? Because it shows me that when the big game comes around, when we're playing against the tough teams, right? We're going like we can be rest assured knowing that we have him in goal.
Yeah,
You
you know
understand
what
what
it
I
is,
mean?
Omar, the thing is that his positioning is always good. So whenever like the opponents have a shot, he never looks like he's making a crazy save. Like everything's straight at him because you know why? Because he has proper positioning and
Yep.
he's just a proper goalkeeper. You know who he kind of reminds me of that trait? Alisson Becker has it with Liverpool. He doesn't need to make mad save after mad save. Like, no, I just position myself better. And Jan Garcia at Barcelona, I'm happy that the 1-2 times he was called upon, he answered the bell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Jan Garcia is going to do very good. And you know what's the best part about Jan Garcia?
Mm.
We're already seeing the other parts, the sweeping. It's been so far so good. Like, we're seeing the passing range. I didn't expect that. The guy's not a liability. He doesn't look like he's nowhere near a liability when it comes to passing. So I'm very happy, bro. So far, it looks like it's going to be a 10 out of 10 signing. And you know what? Credit Hansi Flick. And you know what? Credit Deco, too, for this signing right here because I think he's going to deliver, man.
I mean, listen, man, it is what it is. And look, another player that I need to talk about, obviously, is Pedri. Now, Pedri, bro, at this point, bro, like it's just Pedri being Pedri, isn't it? Like you just get to a point where you're just like, oh, just Pedri being Pedri. And this is the thing, bro. In the game against Como, he was really quiet, but at the end of that preseason, this is the first game of the new season. He said, "Bro, I'm back." That midfield, bro, the way he was controlling, dictating, man, moving like an orchestra, bro. He just got everything just ready, bro. Amazing in that game. And you know what I loved about Pedri at some point in the second half, right? You saw how they were playing like high blocks in the defense, right? They were completely blocking us out. He was just like, when he didn't know who to pass to, he would just take a shot. And he nearly scored. I'm like, bro, this is what I love about Pedri. You can see this guy's brain is always moving. He's always like, I'm going to look for the pass. If I don't find the pass, I'm taking the shot. He always knows when to do what he needs to do. And bro, he was controlling everything in that midfield. What a player, bro. What a player. What a
He,
performance.
he's the best midfielder in the world, and he's among there for just the best players in the world. Period. That's how good Pedri is, and just like how many of these players, even though they had long vacations, they picked up right where they left off. Putting in fantastic performances, and it's getting to a point where you're just thinking, this guy's just different gravy. There's a reason why, when Barcelona, when you look at their midfield as a whole, you have fantastic talent. You have Frankie de Jong, Marc Casado, Gavi, Marc Bernal, Fermin Lopez, Dani Olmo. But the only one in that midfield who's actually untouchable, and no matter what happens, he's going to play, is Pedri. That's the only one. That's one of the first names on the team sheet.
Yeah.
You're looking at Yamal, you're looking at Pedri, and you're looking at Kouarsi. Just to give an example. It's that simple. Those are the untouchables and the spine of Barcelona. And I don't understand when people, hate Pedri, just don't look at the quality, just view him as a spin and turn
you know why?
merchant.
Because the numbers, because he doesn't have numbers. People, you know what it is? Some people don't watch the game. They only go. See, this is what they do, right? They don't watch the game. They just go to FootMob or whatever these apps are to see. FootMob says that Pedri had a 6.5. Oh, he must have been bad today. People are not watching this game, bro. This is the thing. I've said it before. If you're someone who watches the game and you take your time to watch every player, bro, you see the quality that every single player has. And I say this about Pedri. There's a reason why everyone, even Madrid fans, anyone who watches him always talks about Pedri. Why? Because on the eye, when you're watching Pedri on the pitch, bro, everything runs through him. I've said this before. People always talk about if we were to ever lose Yamal, if we were to ever lose it. Bro, we lost Yamal at some point last season. We lost Lewandowski some point last season. We lost a lot of Dani Olmo. We lost them multiple times last season, right? Even our defense was cooked. The only player who was consistent, the only two players who were consistent on the pitch the whole of last season were Pedri and Rafinha, which is crazy because Pedri was known for being injury prone before Flick came in. But last season, having him on that midfield, everything ran to him. I was saying that he was the best player last season. And people were telling me, like, oh, but look at Rafinha's goals and assists. I'm like, bro, look at Pedri in the midfield. Everything, our whole midfield is Pedri plus two other players. Do you guys understand that? If we were to ever lose Pedri, we're cooked. That's
Omar. What I would say is that, bro, Pedri is just a baller. Like, it's coming to the point where low-key, Barca fans are taking Pedri for granted because, like, even like on my match reactions, like I don't even recognize Pedri because this is the standard. You know what I'm saying? Like a normal 10 out of 10 for Pedri is like a 7 out of 10 because he just runs it, bro. He's like a car engine. You just expect it to work. You know what I'm saying? Pedri is he's at the point where nobody's questioning his talent. He's a top midfielder, and you're right. It's Pedri and there's two others in the midfield. And I also said I want to see the other guys, Gavi or Casado or Marc Bernal, push Frankie de Jong for the last spot. Because I'm going to be honest, Pedri's not losing his spot. The guy's
not. That's not.
No chance of that happening. And when you're talking about Pedri, last season, you're thinking, hey, this is one of Pedri's arguably best seasons because that was, the first season or second season, really, in which he was fit for the entirety of the campaign. And we were always saying about Pedri, if he's able to have consistency in his fitness, able to play a full season, then you're seeing the best midfield in the world. And that's what you saw last season. You saw him being, I would say, arguably the most consistent player, consistently putting 8 out of 10 performances, and then having those 10 out of 10s sprinkled across the month. And it was absolutely ridiculous because when you look at Pedri's game, you think, oh my God, he's just great on the ball. No, his overall game is absolutely fantastic. When you're looking at his, his work rate, when you're looking at the way he recovers the ball and the way that he's able to distribute, everything is just amazing. When you look at Pedri's game, you're thinking, what can he improve on? And it's maybe, working on just taking more shots because Pedri, when he has the actual opportunity to take a shot, as that comment says, it's poetry in motion. I look back at those goals, against Galatasaray, those goals against Sevilla, the goal against Madrid, and you're thinking if he is actually able to just take those shots, be a little bit more selfish in those positions outside the box, there's no flaw in his game. He's
Yeah,
just
you
an
know what it
all-around
is?
perfect midfielder.
You know what it is? Also, people they always forget. Pedri plays defense. I always say it, guys. The only thing that I wish Frankie had is that Pedri. This guy will. He's amongst
He was
Bellingham
in the
and
back
Valverde.
line. He was
Yeah.
in the
Huh?
back line yesterday. I was watching. Bro, did you? By the way, I literally forgot about this.
The
Did you
ball
guys?
was-
Did you guys remember in the second half when they had a corner? The ball was about to get to the striker, whoever. I think it was Morici before he got sent off, and then
Yep.
Pedri was the one who intercepted it to go to a corner. I'm
Yeah.
like, bro, look at Pedri in defense, bro.
No.
Intercepting goal scoring opportunities, bro. He's
No,
not
but
just doing it in attack.
But that's my point, Omar. Pedri, I always said it. The guy plays defense, and that's so underrated. No Barca fan notices Pedri for his defense, but dude, he reminds me of Iniesta, where he's gonna run his socks off. Well, with all the magic and all that, he's gonna run his socks off, right? With Frankie, that's one of my only flaws. That's like sometimes I feel like you're just not, 100% going at it. With Pedri, you get 100% on offense. You get 100% on defense, and that's why he's stapled in the midfield. He's not getting out of there. You know what I'm saying?
No. Yeah, well, I remember in one of the classes, I don't remember which one it was. I think it was the Super Cup or the Copa del Rey final, but they were mentioning the stats on the amount of miles that the players ran. And when you have your Jude Bellingham, when you have your Tchouaménis, when you have your Fede Valverdes, when you think about them being workhorses, those box to box, just up and down, those PMP. It was actually Pedri who was number one as like the most distance covered. And when you think about Pedri, you think of him as just like he's only a technical midfielder. No, the stats back it up.
Yeah.
He's among the best players in regards to recovery of the ball, amount of distance covered, and that's not even to mention his on the ball stats when he actually gets on the ball and is able to actually use his magic. That stat, when I saw that, I was thinking, oh my goodness, like I wish I could show this like to every single player who hates on Pedri, but the people who hate on Pedri and aren't able to recognize his quality, that's more of a stance of just saying, hey, I just hate Pedri because he plays for Barcelona. I don't want to
That's
see
it.
Pedri succeed.
That's
Simple as
the-
that.
That's it, bro.
It's simple as that.
This is what I mean. Sometimes they always say, bro, you don't know how good you have something until you lose it. If we were to, God forbid, bro, I hope to God we don't lose Pedri at any point in the season, because if we do, we're cooked. No
Knock on
one in
wood.
our
Knock on wood.
no one in the midfield can do Pedri's job. I'm sorry. We have a lot of good midfielders. No one can do Pedri's job. No one. No one. Maybe we might be able to be lucky on certain performances, but brother, if we were to lose him in a long-term injury, bro, that's our season cooked.
Yeah,
I'm being
we'd be
dead
good.
serious.
I can't lie.
So
Thought about
no, so yeah, we can't lose. We cannot lose Pedri. And listen, shout out to also Eric Garcia. I saw someone saying that I didn't like Eric Garcia. Listen, Eric Garcia actually did well yesterday at right back, covered in for Kunde, right? So shout outs to him as well. He actually played well over there. Listen, I don't know how long this can continue, but if he cooks this season, then that's just our right back issue solved for this season. You understand what I
Omar,
mean?
can I
Right?
say something about Eric though, guys? Why is Jules Koundé not playing? I actually want to know. I don't know why Jules Koundé has been dropped. Is Eric guys? I don't know if I'm overreacting, but
Apparently,
is
they
Eric
said that he was
bad?
late, but I'm like, that cannot be correct because that was an away match, so everyone traveled together. So unless he was like late to get to like the team meeting or something before they traveled, I don't know what could be the case. But
Because Jules Koundé didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. It's not like we would have seen that he's late to training. We would have seen something, or maybe we didn't see no reports. It's just been Eric Garcia starting. So I understand Eric's better on the ball, but that's why I'm questioning is Flick. What if he starts him the next 2-3 games? Then what are we saying next?
yeah, I mean, listen, maybe he was just experimenting, and clearly the experiment worked. So at the end of the day, I'm never going to question the manager.
At this point, I actually don't think that Hansi Flick is experimenting. We've seen Eric Garcia play in that position multiple times. He's the backup. It's just simple as that. He's the backup to Jules Koundé. And, it's getting to a point where I don't know if Hansi Flick views Eric Garcia as not only as a backup, but now he's getting to a point where he's at a level to compete and replace Jules Koundé in certain games. Jules Koundé is no longer the untouchable in that position because you've seen him on preseason.
Hey,
I was looking
listen,
at some of the quotes from Hansi Flick. And he's saying, hey, he was asked that question, why isn't Jules Koundé playing? And he says, hey, Eric Garcia has just been that good. He's just been that good during preseason. Jules Koundé is at an absolutely fantastic level, and he just goes on from there. And when you're looking at Eric Garcia, he's actually been solid. He's actually been solid when you've been looking at his performances, especially in the big games. Obviously, when you look at the games against Inter, the games against Madrid, and especially during this past preseason, he's been rock solid. And I think it's going to be a question of I'm not necessarily saying he's going to replace Jules Koundé, but just give him that extra motivation to say, hey, Eric Garcia, he's knocking on your door. He's saying, hey, you cannot let your foot off the gas. If not, he's going to come in and replace you. Yeah. And this is a fantastic problem to have because you saw multiple times last season Jules Koundé being absolutely fantastic, but him being having to play too many minutes and just playing too many games, and we just didn't have a replacement. Hansi Flick, he didn't really trust Hector Ford.
Yeah, no, Hector Ford didn't work with Hansi Flick. But what I was gonna say is that's the issue. Like, I actually I think it's more than experimenting. Like you said, I actually genuinely am concerned of Koundé. Like, does Flick actually think Eric is better for the system? Like,
I mean, bro,
we'll have to wait and see. But
yeah, but here's the thing. Yeah, I mean, listen, don't get it twisted. I think that Garcia has a long way to go because let's be real. Koundé was one of our best players last season. So
absolutely,
he has he really has to cook this season for him to take that right back position from Koundé. I just think that at the end of the day, maybe Flick kind of trusted Eric Garcia to be able to do his job at right back, and he did. He did yesterday against Mallorca, but I'm sure that Koundé will eventually go back to his position. But listen, I want to bring one specific quote, right? Because this is the thing. Because yesterday when I did my match reaction, a lot of people didn't like what I said. When I saw this, I'm sure you guys saw it too. This is Hansi Flick. Apparently, this is the word that's coming out. They said that Hansi Flick was very angry with the Barca players after the match. He thinks that the players are too relaxed this season, and they think that they are better than everyone. I mean, what do you guys think of Flick, like, assuming this?
Well, when I'm looking at that quote and I look at his words after the match, I think it reflects his winning mentality, his desire to win, and his example of high standards. He sets those high standards, and he wants every single player, every single member of his staff to meet and keep that standard. And when you look at the team overall, at the end of the day, guys, we haven't won everything there is under Hansi Flick. We haven't won the biggest trophy of all in the Champions League. We haven't won that. The players, they have to look at that and say, hey, we haven't won the Champions League. There's no reason why we should be going into this season with just thinking, we're already better than everyone. We're just not. We haven't won what is the golden trophy in football. We just haven't done that. And I really do admire, and I'm so glad that Hansi Flick is bringing these high standards, bringing this hunger to the team, because of course when you look at the success of last season, you're thinking, wow, Barcelona, we won so much, but there's still so much left to do. If we are able to maintain this level and have Hansi Flick stay here, we could do something historic. So this is something that would go down for years. And I absolutely agree with Hansi Flick. I see nothing wrong with that, and I champion his attitude.
Bro. I honestly, dude, Omar, this is why we brought Hansi Flick. I'll just say it right now, dude. Flick, you know what I said? So with me, I said the game, I just had some concerns that I just didn't like. Obviously, we knew we won the game, but I just didn't like some of the tendencies that we were doing. But I love how the manager points it out. And I love how he was angry about the game because Hansi Flick, he demands the most out of the team. This is why we brought him. We saw it firsthand in the A2. They were up 5-1. They could have just settled, but they kept going. Yeah. And this is what we want from Barca. We want to win our 6th UCL, and this is a serious manager that we got. So I'm absolutely cool with it. And you know what, Omar? Not just I'm cool with it. I'm very happy that he pointed it out because now I'm looking at it against Levante. I'm very confident that we get the dub because he just pointed it out.
But you know what I mean? This is why I love the manager. Because like you mentioned, man, we know this is his mindset, bro. Even when he was managing at Bayern Munich. When they beat us 8-2, he wanted more. He was like, bro, as long as there's minutes on that board, I want more goals. We're scoring 10. We're going for 10. Forget about 5. When we got to 8, you can rest assured, if there was 5 minutes added into that game, they were putting 10 goals in that score sheet, right? And this is the thing. That's always been him. And you see, even in the games last season when we played Madrid, he was always having that mindset of more. He just wants to score. That's why do you think Barcelona last season were the highest scoring teams in Europe? Because we don't stop. There's no such thing as 5-0. All right, let's chill. No. Go for 6. Go for 7. Go for 8. Break the record for the most goals in a single game. And I love that. Hold on. But for me, you know what that is? It shows me that this brother, right, he is relentless. And I want my manager to be relentless. You understand what I mean, right? And here's the thing. I agree with the fact that he felt that these players were complacent, because that's one thing I will say about yesterday's performance, which we will all agree on. I feel like in the second half, we were very complacent, and the kind
100%.
of manager that Flick is, he doesn't want his players to be complacent, because the moment you accept complacency in your game, that becomes a problem, because you go into games thinking that you've already won because you're so much better on paper. But when you're always on your toes, you're always like ready. You're always locked in every single game. And I think that's what Flick is like, right? He doesn't want his players to ever feel like they've got the win before the kickoff has even started. That's the thing.
Yeah. Listen, Omar, what I would say with it is that basically, like, there's this famous saying, right? And I always hear in the NFL, especially, right? And it's like, don't accept anything in a loss that you wouldn't in a win, right? Being complacent. Imagine if Barca lost this game. Let's just say the result changed. We wouldn't accept it. We would be outraged, right? And Hansi Flick, that's the thing. Just because we won, I'm going to take the negatives and I'm going to show the players, yo, this is not good enough. Like, we're trying to win the Champions League. We're trying to repeat. We haven't repeat since 2019. So, You know what it is? Flick is just an elite manager. You know, the mental side. He's a man manager on the field. You get everything with Hansi Flick. And, bro, I'm happy that he pointed it out overall.
Those are just the standards of Barcelona, and it's very good, because we've gone through seasons where you've had players said, oh, but like Barcelona, we're in a rebuilding phase. It's just sort of say, oh, we're trying to get back to where we were. Hansi Flick is just saying, hey, no, Barcelona, we're in the situation where we need to compete. But guys, I do want to apologize, as I do have to go. It's been absolutely fantastic to be back here, and hopefully we are able to record more episodes and content very, very soon.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Man Like Coolest Podcast, guys. His channel link is in the title, guys. So make sure you guys go subscribe to Man Like Elias. He will be
Bye,
back
guys.
soon, guys. Appreciate you for turning up, bro.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, listen, Jonas, great performance from the team. 3-0. Very, very happy with the way we played. And for me, I love the fact that Flick has this mindset. Really, I love the mindset, because I want all my players to have this kind of mindset. You understand what I mean, right? I want my players to have the mindset. I want the manager, because it starts from the manager. If the manager has this taking no precedence mentality, bro, it resonates to the players. You understand what I mean, right? Because they know that, okay, if this guy thinks that the win is in the bag, I benched. It shows me that he wouldn't be afraid to bench players, to get rid of players. Be like, okay, man, you are slowing down the game. You need to go. You need to leave. You understand what I mean, right? You need to step aside. Sit on the bench and let this guy come in. Yeah.
He's just fit enough to be the Barca coach. That's what it is. He's a manager that actually deserves to be at Barca, and he can legit, like, he can wear the shorts of Barcelona, because he can bench Lewandowski, and Lewandowski cannot complain to him. He can bench Jules Koundé, and Koundé cannot really say anything. He can do all these things and tell Lamine Yamal, pass the ball. Like, this is the thing with Hansi Flick. I just think he's elite in every aspect, and that's why I'm very confident with Barcelona. But we'll see, bro. We'll see. Next game against Levante, if we're up 2-0 at halftime, I'm expecting to be up maybe 4-0, 5-0 by full time. But dude, Flick's a serious manager. This is why we signed him. Xavi Hernandez was great. That period, right, was very good. But we just needed something else. We wanted to go to the next level, and with Flick, we got it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a great performance in the end, right? We absolutely battered them. And look, for me, I'm not going to be overly critical. Like I mentioned, I feel like people, when you're critical of the team, they think, oh, this person is never satisfied. You can be critical. There's nothing wrong with being critical. It doesn't mean that you don't love the club. I've always said this, right? Some people, if people that don't love the club don't even care about wins and losses. They're just there to be entertained. So when the team wins, they don't care about the result. They don't care about who played well, who didn't play well, right? But for some of us who actually break the things down, it's because we actually care. Because we're like, okay, on paper, we can beat Mallorca, right? I was saying, I did a match preview, which didn't come out because I didn't have a lot of time to upload it. But you remember when we were in the Chaos show, I was so confident we were going to win this game. I was sitting there saying, bro, 3-0, 4-0 in the bag. And I wasn't me trying to be shameless. It's because I knew, bro. I was like, bro, we're locked in. Don't worry about it. Mallorca, we're going to batter these guys. And we did. We played exactly how I expected us to play. When I call out some other stuff like the man, like the Yamal performance, he had a great performance. But I'm also going to be sitting there and say, listen, I want more. Give me more. That's the kind of guy I want. You understand? I want you to be the best player in the world. And I'm going to have that mindset. You feel me, right? Bro, I'm seeing it, bro. You see a lot of... Have you seen the way PSG fans move, bro? Yesterday, I was watching videos of PSG fans, right, who were doing watch-alongs of the game. If you see how rattled these guys got when Yamal scored that goal. Every time Yamal has a good game, these people are sweating, bro. They are sweating, bro. This is how... because they know who the best player in the world is. They know who the best winger in the world is, bro. They just want to see Yamal have stinkers every single time. This is why they always celebrate when Yamal has stinkers.
Listen, I mean, it is what it is, bro. Listen, bro, Lamine, that's why when I criticize Lamine, I'm like, brother, I bought your jersey. I barely buy anybody's jersey. So I love Lamine, but I just thought that, he just needed to be a bit better yesterday, even with the goal and assist. That's high standards, by the way, right? But, Omar, you know what I do want to say, right? I want to actually point this out. We won 3-0, and a lot of Barcelona fans, I'll probably say half the fan base, are like, we didn't even play that good. I like that. It's like the standards for Barca every year is going higher and higher, and I like that, bro. This is how we're going to reach to the top. It's not going to be like Xavi's La Liga where we win it and then we fall off. Like, no, we got to be at the top and stay at the top. And I like how a lot of people are like, yo, we won 3-0, but it's nothing, bro. We've seen 7s and 6s with Hansi Flick, so I kind of do like that.
And that's the thing, because that's the mark. I feel like that is the mark of a big club. I've always said this, right? Big clubs have the highest standards. Why do you think? This is why, right? And this is not disrespect to like the Premier League clubs and all of this, right? Shout out to some of these Premier League clubs. But there's a difference, bro. The reason why Barcelona and Real Madrid, no matter how many times the years go by, we never really take an almighty fall off. It's because of the mindset of the fans, but also the club. You understand what I mean, right? And everyone involved. You look at Barcelona in 2020, right? When we were suffering a financial situation, that was the perfect chance for Barcelona to feel sorry for themselves. The club to feel sorry for themselves. The fans to feel sorry for themselves and say, bro, what can we do? We're broke. We don't have any money. We can't compete. What do you guys want us to do? But did we ever cry? No. We always asked the club to figure it out. Because we always think, no, man, it doesn't matter. We'll find a way. Let's find one way or another. And you saw the club. The club found every single way possible to go out there and get the players. You understand what I mean, right? And listen, bro, when you're seeing a lot of these clubs, shout out to Arsenal, man like Arteta. You're seeing them talking about trusting the process, Project Youth, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 25, Phase 30. And I'm sitting here as a Barcelona fan, watching this club who last time they won a trophy under Arteta was the same year that we started having financial situations in 2020. And the fact that I watched my favorite player of all time, Lionel Messi, the greatest of all time, leave the club. And within a few years, Xavi Hernandez comes into Barcelona, a manager that had less experience than Arteta, right? Who was managing in the UAE, right? Man comes in and wins the league within 2 seasons. Thanks. When I'm looking at Flick coming on and literally winning the league in its first season, domestic treble, bro, I don't want to hear the excuses. Clubs that have high standards always remain at the top, and it comes from everyone. The problem is, you can see it's sometimes resonate with even some of our fans, bro, and you see it all the time. People like me, people like you, bro, I'm telling you right now, man. I don't want to, obviously I'm going to get back to you, but this is the thing, guys. Big up to every single one of you guys who are here. Some of you guys know me. You guys have been long-term subscribers. Yesterday when I did my match reaction and I was critical about Yamal, bro, people were actually putting racist stuff on the comments. I had to report it. Because I'm like, bro, do you see how sensitive some of these people are? I'm like, bro, you don't like my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, why are you listening to me? I am not the only Barca content creator in this square space. Trust me, they are bigger, way bigger content creators than I will ever be. 100,000 subscribers, 50K, 100K, 25K. Some people who have like 30K subscribers, right? Go listen to those people. I only have 4K on my channel. I'm not huge. Why are you worried about my opinion? You understand what I mean? Everything that I sit here I say from the heart. The reason why I opened this channel last year is because I said, bro, I'm going to say what I think because this is my channel. And if people don't like my opinion, they don't have to watch me. They can go subscribe to every other people. But over here, anything you hear me say is what I truly believe. I will never sit here and talk cap. Because I can cap. If I cap, the chat will notice it.
You know, but Omar, this is crazy. This is why I say, like, bro, just say your opinion. Because, like, bro, guys, chat, this is crazy. So Omar just says his opinion, right? And he criticizes Lamine Yamal 1 or 2 times in a video, right? And these people in the comments calling him a nignog. Like, come on, bro. That's kind of crazy, bro. So,
yeah,
I don't know what to say. Yo, Omar, you just can't take it to the heart, bro. These people
I don't.
Trolls, so...
No, I don't. Trust me, I don't. I've got. Listen, man. I'm not soft-skinned. I can tell you that, bro. It's just that you know what? I tried to. I said I was gonna address it, but then I realized, if I made a video about this, the people who were doing this shit, they're all gonna sit there and celebrate because I'm giving them the limelight. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna make the video, but I have to call this out. Listen. This is my channel. And here's the thing, guys. You know me. For those of you guys who are subscribed, you know I give the respect to every single chat. You understand what I mean, right? And at the end of the day, I will give my respects. But over here, guys, I'm going to give you guys my opinions. If I don't agree with something, if I think someone didn't have a good game, I don't care if the rest of the other people think that they have a good game. My opinion is not the same. Okay? So yesterday was an example of that. I'm not saying Yamal didn't have a good game. He had a great game. I'm just critical of the little things that he was doing wrong. And I'm like, bro, please get this out of your game. Because I feel like if you get this out of your game, you'll go to another level. I care because he's one of my favorite players. I want him to always be better. So I'm always going to have the high standards for him. But yeah, man, big up to every single one of you guys. And make sure, guys, listen, we're on 26 likes. Guys, come on, man. 67 people in here, and we're not even on... I thought we would have been on 40 likes by this point. Smash the like button, guys. Smash the like button. But appreciate every single one of you guys. Listen, don't worry about it. Listen, man, all of you guys in here, some of you guys are not always going to like what I say, and that's cool. I'm not here saying what I always say is correct. So if you guys don't agree with me, let me know in the chat. Tell me what you guys think. And you know what? Sometimes I'm not prejudiced. If you guys give me different points and I hear it, I will. If I agree with you guys, I'll say, you know what? I didn't see it that way. Appreciate you for letting me know. But don't do the racist stuff, man. We can't be doing racist, man. At the end of the day, we're just fans here, man. We don't all agree. But yeah, it is what it is. And big up to my guy Will as well, right? Because Will also gets it, man. Some of these people need to relax with some of the shit that they be saying to him as well, man. That's my guy. But he's a fraud, but that's my guy, man.
Anyway. No, you know it's crazy, bro. Omar, people are on the internet and they just move crazy, you know? Like real talk. You don't see their faces and they just start talking crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, you know what it is with Will, and you know what it is with Will, right? You know what it is with Will, right? Will is a rage bait. Actually, that's what he is. But obviously, he says things for the sake of it. Sometimes, especially when he's talking about Barca, he's always tongue in cheeks when he's talking about us. You understand what I mean, right? So that's him. But that's who he is. He's actually he's a guy who always says things to get a reaction. But he's a cool guy. But listen, let's move on, guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Let's continue, guys, because I want to talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about man like Tebas. Man like Tebas. Oh, I've been looking forward to making this video. I thought I was gonna. I wanted to have the other people in here to talk about this, but since you're here, let's talk about this. Man, like Tebas, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the chicken is coming home to roost finally for this fraud. The chicken is coming home to roost, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know if you guys have seen the video. I put this. I was here on hold on, I have it here. Give me a second. Let me pull it up because I need you all to see this, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? Where's the Tebas thing? I have it here. Where is it? I have the Tebas. Basically, guys, I don't know if you guys have seen. Do you guys remember when Bilbao took our what's the name? When he took, when they had our documents, the private documents, right? And I was sitting here saying, yo, that if it's private, then why is he giving it to another club that is not us? Right? And I was saying, isn't that illegal? Well, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, it was illegal. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Let me show you all. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
this guy Tebas, bro.
Let's show it. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. There you are. Man, Justin Miguel Angel Jalan, president of the Transparency and Democracy in Sports Association, filed a complaint with the Higher Sports Council against Tebas. Jalan submitted a 50-page dossier accusing Tebas of committing 5, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5, right, offenses disclosing private information about Barcelona. According to Jalan, right, these include revealing the details of the sales of the VIP seats, disclosing changes of the club's financial auditors, sharing information about the club's financial situation, leaking the internal reports and correspondence to the Higher Sports Council, stating that deleting the statement constitution from a legal perspective and a partial admission of breaching confidentiality. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you all. I told everybody that was willing to listen. I told every one of you guys about this guy. I told you this brother was a criminal. I told you this brother wanted to destroy my club from the inside. And you know what? Here it is. We finally can prove it, ladies and gentlemen. Javier Tebas, this absolute fraud, took our private financial papers, something that's supposed to be between the club and the council, and gave it to one of our transfer rivals because we were trying to get one of their players. That, ladies and gentlemen. And now that we've also seen that over 100, that a few days ago, 158 La Liga players were yet to be registered for their clubs. When you're seeing Getafe selling their best defender in Omar, is it Aldertere or something? They literally had to sell the guy so that they can go and register players. Now you've got teams in La Liga having to sell their best players just so that they can register their new signings, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Omar, you know what it is, bro?
Everybody wants to, hold on, let me finish. But everybody wants to sit here and talk about he's worried about the finances, right? He's worried about finances. Okay, so he's willing to keep this club safe. If he's worried about this club's finances, then ladies and gentlemen, tell me why clubs like Valencia are having financial situation. Why is Sevilla struggling? Why is Barca struggling? Because when Bartomeu was over here 100 millions every single season, why wasn't he getting involved in that? Why wasn't he sitting there telling Bartomeu, yo, I see your finances right now, they're not looking good. If you continue like this, you guys are going to have financial issues in the next 2 to 3 years. Did he ever tell him that? Nah, because that's his boy. Because Bartomeu is his guy, right? He doesn't want to hurt Bartomeu's feelings. That's why Bartomeu fucked off and he started moving like a president again all of a sudden when Laporta comes in, right? But listen, apparently you've seen it, and not to mention, let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, the most important one as well. This guy is trying to move La Liga games La Liga football matches to the United States. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is Javier Tebas. But hey, no. But Barcelona fans, we're just anti-Tebas. We are just anti. We only hate Tebas because he's trying to ruin our club. That's why we hate him. It has nothing to do with his stuff outside of Barcelona. No. It's because we are haters. That's why, ladies and gentlemen. When
Yeah.
it's over, man. This league, I swear to God, if this brother does not leave the club, leave the league, bro, this league is going to become Serie A in the next few seasons.
Yeah, you know where it is, bro. Like, I think he's cooked, bro. I'm not gonna lie. 50 pages? Brother, 50 pages of dirt is crazy, bro. I can't lie. Going to court knowing that there's 50 pages of evidence. Yeah, it's peak for Tebas. But listen, I think it was always gonna happen. Did you see something like I think it was like over 100 players in La Liga, or maybe I think 170 players are unregistered. On top of that, it's like
158 players. Yep.
and then, like, as of last week, I think Levante, who are going to play next in match day 2, brother, they only had three. They had 3 players registered.
So
What are you going to do?
they could potentially forfeit a game, guys. Are you guys listening to this?
You know how hilarious that is? Barcelona played 11v9, and this time might be 11v3. Like, Omar, this league, the way it's been moving with Tebas has been downhill and downhill year after year. Even clubs, it's not like just Barca. Real Betis copied us with the levers because the rules are too strict. Sevilla is dying. Valencia is dying. All these clubs are dying, bro. The only club really, right, is Real Madrid. And Atletico is okay
Bro,
with
Real Madrid are going to be next. Promise you.
even Real Madrid, I think Real Madrid, they're in the free market a lot because they don't want to be hurt by these rules. I really believe that. So, bro, I don't know what's going to happen with La Liga the future. But I don't know. When's the next presidency, but this guy's got to get out of office, man.
I think that is why you see Real Madrid and Athletic Bilbao and some of these clubs are beginning to vote him out. I think Real Madrid, I said this before, I think that Real Madrid could be next. I think Real Madrid are very close. In the next 2 to 3 seasons, if Tebas is still here, I can see them also having restrictions to register players as well. I think that's going to happen to Real Madrid soon. I think Florentino Perez knows that, and that's why he wants to get this guy out. I think that's what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. These absolute frauds, man. We'll see what happens. And when you look at even with Barca, yeah, we were able to register Jean Garcia and Rashford. But guys, Chesney is not registered. Ronnie Baji has not been registered.
Gerard Martin.
Gerard
is
Martin
not registered.
Gerard Martin, Ronnie Baji, and my guy is not registered. Do you guys see what is happening? This is not going to end well. This is not going to end well for anyone. Right?
Yeah.
Look up to Jordan. It says, Omar literally just got racially abused for giving his opinion in the internet. If they were just kids, it wouldn't be a good excuse. Hey, it is what it is. Listen, guys, I'm not even gonna give these guys the light of the day. But yeah, Tebas out. At the end of the day, listen, bro, listen, don't worry about it. We're just Barca fans. We don't care, bro. At the end of the day, it's just Barcelona. You feel me, right?
Yeah, actually, Omar, you're kind of right with that because now that I think about it, Jan Garcia and Rashford, I don't even know if they're registered full term, right?
No, they're not.
So
that's why big up to Barca Volume. He even said on it, it's just a plaster, bro. When Ter Stegen returns, this guy's gonna be unregistered.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. As a collective, we gotta hashtag Ter Stegen out's gotta be trending again, bro. Cause we cannot just lose Jan Garcia in the middle of the year and Ter Stegen comes back. Like, what is this, bro? You know what I'm saying? That can't happen. Nah, ain't no way. But going back to it, you're right, because Gerard Martin's not registered, Chesney's not registered, right? Ronnie Barty's not registered. And then if Jan Garcia and Rashford are only registered right now, just for a bit, like, bro, I don't know. Jan Laporte has got to find a way, somehow, some way. I think he'll do it, but man, I just don't know. There's too much ifs and ands, and I feel like the rules in La Liga are just too strict. Because the Premier League, when I'm seeing Sunderland outspend Barcelona, who won La Liga, brother, like I don't know. It just ain't good. It's just not good to see when I'm seeing Barcelona get outspent by Sunderland, right? So I don't know what else to say, man.
Dude, I'm just, bruh. Yeah, big up. Miguel, I'm about to send it to you right now. I got you, brother. Dude, let me tell you something, man. You see me, yeah? we as Barca fans have been calling this out for so long because we told people that this is not just going to be Barca that are going to have. Barca are the first one. Everyone is going to start having this problem because if and this is the thing. This is why at this point I've got to a point now where I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna rant. I'm not gonna shout about this when everyone is going through this now because I've already ranted. I've had all the rants I can make. You guys want to go out and rant? You are the La Liga clubs, go rant. I'm seeing the Levante president and the Getafe president calling. I'm like, oh, now you guys want to call them out? Yeah, you go want to call them out now. Remember when we were calling them out the last 2 seasons? Where were you guys to help us? Where were you guys to help us? Now all of a sudden you guys care now. It's crazy. Bro, the fact that there are clubs right now that could potentially forfeit games because they don't have registration. Prof, how did we get here? How did this league get here to the point that clubs have to literally forfeit just to play their players? This is actually a problem in the league. And this guy's still here. This guy is more worried about the money, the finances, the clubs that Real Madrid and Atletico were getting from the Club World Cup that La Liga were not able to get, right? You got issues in the league, right? Valencia can't even finish their stadium. They can't even finish their stadium, bro. They're so broke. They've stopped. They've been trying to build that stadium for 20 years. Listen to what I'm telling you. The new Mestalla, they started that stadium in 2006. They just stopped building that stadium this year.
Bro.
That stadium would probably not be finished until 2030. 24 years since they started building it.
You know how crazy that is, bro. That's not normal. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. La Liga, the way it's moving, I was saying it, bro. Like, when's it gonna start affecting other clubs? But yo, big up Barcelona. What you saying, man?
Hey, what's going on, boys? What's going on? I just thought I'd
Good.
hop on because I'm watching the show, man. It's been fire so far. What's up, man?
Hey, we appreciate to having you here, man. Appreciate you for taking time out of your day with the family to come and join us. But yeah,
It's
man.
all good, man. It's a nice Sunday with the family. You know what I mean?
Hey, of course, man. Of course,
Facts.
man. Of course, man. My guy,
Hey.
man.
Man like Miguel, bro, because listen, I don't know about Atlanta, but bro, me and Barca volume, bro. California right now, it's mad sunny, right?
Hey,
The weather's
listen, it's too
beautiful.
expensive over there,
Nice.
man. I don't have the money to buy
It is expensive, dude.
Oh,
Like,
bro, it is expensive.
but look,
I
I'm
can't
having a
lie.
nice day out right now.
In the pool, man. Hey, listen, I have a pool, man. I live in an apartment. I can go out and go to my pool side.
Apartments have a pool in California. Every apartment has a pool.
Mine
Yeah. Nah, but it's like, bro, I can't lie. Like, bro, I'm not rich, guys. I'm not rich, but the
Yeah,
weather
we're
in
rich,
California has been
Dude,
fire.
I'm not rich.
I'm
Hey,
not
listen,
rich,
man,
bro.
we
Look.
know it. Trust me, bro. We are not rich. Do not get it twisted. None of us here are rich. None of us are rich over here. But listen, volume. I'm sure you've been listening to the story, right? We were just
Yeah.
talking about obviously Tebas, right? Buff, do you guys now see how this registration thing is becoming a problem in the league now? Because now clubs are potentially could forfeit games because they don't have enough players available. Clubs are selling their best players, man. Do you
Dude.
see how?
Dude, Tebas is so ridiculous. It's not even funny, man. Like it's. Think of it like, for example, right in the NFL, we have Roger Goodell, who's leading the charge for the NFL, and I think it's Adam Silver for the NBA. And these
Yep.
players are always looking out for the league. Whatever is in the best interest of the league, that's what they would do. And this Tebas guy, man, he looks like he's just in the best interest of himself and the way that he wants to run things. I'm actually getting ready to make a video just on how unfair it is for the La Liga teams in Spain in general to compete with teams like internationally, like in the UCL. Like, for example, like teams like PSG, that's €1 billion project, bro. A billion with a B. It's €1 billion project, dude. If you take a look at the way Liverpool is been handling things, I know they've been making money,
Yeah.
but dude, it's so unfair. And the La Liga president right now, he doesn't have he doesn't want to put the best product. And me and Sam were talking about this, and he's all like, La Liga is so much better than the Premier League, but the Premier League is being marketed better.
Financially, yes,
And that's the way, because they have so many more loopholes, and it's almost like these people, these rich owners like Chelsea, like they can just come in with a lot of money and they can use that money. For example, right? Let's say that, for example, Qatar, he funds the €1 billion project in PSG. Let's say that the Qatar wanted to buy Barcelona, for example.
Right.
He couldn't spend all that money that he's throwing at PSG. He couldn't spend it at Barcelona, and some people don't understand that.
Yeah,
People
and
don't
that's the
know
truth.
that he
People, and
could
this
not
is
use that money.
unit.
It would be useless and worthless.
This is the thing, isn't it, volume? Because people call us broke. I've told people, I'm like, bro, we are not technically broke. We actually have money. If we had if they took the chains of us, people would realize we could actually spend. The problem is, no matter how much we spend, it's one thing spending, it's another thing actually playing the players you've spent money on. Why do
Yeah.
you think that we bought Omo for 60 million, no problem, and yet we were struggling to even play him? Because
I
we
know.
have to do this to him.
I know Barcelona was a mess with Bartomeu, and he did a lot of things that
Yes.
we're paying the tax right now. But even so, dude, Barcelona brought in almost €1 billion in sales. No other team brought in
Facts.
that much money. How can you tell me that, as bad as the financial situation is for Barcelona, how can you tell me that Barcelona cannot register €25 million on Joan Garcia after making almost €1 billion in sales? That doesn't make any sense, dude. Can you imagine? That would never happen in the NFL. That would never happen in the NBA. And some of the even Robbie Lou made a video about this, and he's like, Tebas wants these teams to be run like businesses, and that's the wrong approach. Teams can only spend what they earn. They cannot spend what they have. For example, Barcelona has at least €500 million
Yes.
in cap space, but they cannot use it because of the restrictions of the league.
Exactly.
That's so ridiculous, bro. That doesn't make any
And if you
sense.
think, and this is the thing, we compared to clubs like Levante or Getafe, we are actually rich. We have the finances and we have the revenue, right? From shirt sales, stadiums, you know what I mean, right? All of these stuff. We are Barcelona. We generate a lot of
Yep.
money, every profits every single season. A club like Levante and Getafe, they don't always generate revenue. They actually have to stay in the league just so that they can gain any kind of profit. You
Omar,
understand what I
no,
mean,
it
right?
is.
So wait, hold on. So when you look at a club like Getafe, they have to sell. They have no choice. This is why they had to sell their best defender to Sunderland just so that they can register 3 players. And then you've got Getafe, Levante. They got 3 players, bro. They have to play. I swear they have to play. When are they playing? Are they playing? Have they already played, or are they playing tomorrow?
They won. Getafe, they won against Celtic.
No,
today.
Levante. I'm talking about
Oh.
Levante. When is Levante playing? I
Brother,
haven't seen.
I'm actually interested because they had 3 players registered. So let me
I
check.
don't
right
know
now.
because there's not been any updates. But this is a big issue in this league, bro. I'm telling you right now, we are falling back because for a long time we had the best league in the world, even in the 2010s. Even though Premier League had more of the financially, they were more financially better than us for so many decades, right? Since the inception of the Premier League, yes. But the difference is this: Barcelona and Real Madrid were always the biggest superpowers in league football, in world football. And we always were given the freedom to go out and get the players we need. Real Madrid they did the Galacticos thing and it worked, right? Barcelona, we didn't do the Galacticos thing when we were successful, but we could go out and spend money. You understand what I mean, right? But now you're looking at this whole thing, and people were saying that Tebas had to do this because of what happened in 2011 to Villarreal. But brother, that was the only club that went through that. What about what's happening with Valencia right now? Why are you not dealing with the Valencia issue? Why are you not dealing with the Sevilla issue?
Yeah.
These are all problems. These clubs are going bankrupt.
Yeah,
They
Omar,
are the
I want to
verge of
say
bankruptcy.
something real quick.
Go
Let me
ahead,
just
go
say this. So basically, you know what I'm getting the feeling with Barcelona and La Liga and Tebas, this whole issue, is that Barcelona actually have money to spend, but it feels like it's restricted. It feels like we can't get to there because of the rules. It feels like it's untapped money that Barca actually have, but they
Don't say it
cannot
feels
use.
like it is. Like it is. Don't say it feels like, because it literally is.
I mean, this is the thing. If Jan Laporta or somebody just said that is exactly what's happening, I could 100% say it. But Barca volume, you're right. It's legit restricted money that Barcelona have, but they cannot use. And it's probably very annoying.
How is it possible that we've just won 3 trophies? Top trophies, by the way, right? Because here's the thing, also Barcelona, when you think about it, right? For the past 5 years, I know we've had, obviously, our finances have been terrible, but we've been winning a lot of trophies. We won the league 2 years ago. We won the league last season. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
We were in the semifinals of the Champions League this past season, right? We were in the quarterfinals the year before. We've been relatively doing well for the past few seasons, so our profits should actually be improving.
Yeah.
And we have been getting a lot of profit. Let's be real, because we've signed players like Lewandowski. We've had players like Yamal. Let's be honest. Players like Yamal, their shirt sales go crazy. You have a Yamal shirt. You have a Yamal shirt value, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got even players like a Pedri. You understand what I mean, right? Rafinha after his form. You know these guys, they all generate a lot of revenue from shirt sales and all that, right? And last season, and you see that when we were in the Montjuic Stadium, it was always packed. So it's not like, oh, the Barcelona couldn't even financially, like we were getting money from
And that Montjuic Stadium was not easy to fill because many people say it's difficult to get there, and a lot of people don't like to make that drive. You have to go up the mountain for a certain amount of miles, and Barcelona was still filling up those stadiums. Dude, how much money would Barcelona be making right now if the Camp Nou was ready? The whole last season with 100,000 fans, that would have been insane. But nah, man, I wanted to hop on here because I gotta let you guys know, man. I'm
Right.
so excited about John Garcia, bro. Like,
Talk about
Fact.
oh my god, like I've been watching some of his stuff, some of these long passes. The one thing I wanted to say is he's so used to playing in the counter in transition that every time he gets the ball, he's already looking in the final third. Like he got like 3, 4 passes in this game that were just insanely accurate. And it
He
was
nearly
one to the
started that
left to
counter,
Rafinha.
bro. Did you
It was
remember the
one to the
Ferran
left to
Torres?
Rafinha. He drew the foul on another on the right, and he actually, even when he does with his hands, he's got a long throw. Like he's got a cannon, bro. Like his
Bro,
arm
do you
is
remember there was one
insane, bro.
moment? Do you remember the moment? Do you remember the one when he came out of his box, right? The ball was loose. He came out of his box near the right hand side. One
Yeah.
touch, literally kicked the ball, nearly started the corner towards Ferran Torres, and Ferran Torres mistimed it and fell down. Like, bro, that actually been an assist
Bro,
if this guy took the ball well,
you
because
know
that was
what
a
he looked
counter.
like? Yeah. You know what John Garcia looked to me on this game?
Hmm.
He looked like a motivated worker that just got hired, that's dying to get this position. Dude, every 50-50, he was on there. That red card where the guy puts the cleats on his
Straight to
face,
his face. Yep,
that's a 50-50 play. And he's
yep.
going right at him. He's fearless, bro. That's
Fact.
fearless.
And that's
That's
Morici. We all know him as a striker. He's a
Knowing
and
bulldog.
that, and can
and
I say
he's
something? Let me
fighting
just
with
say this. Let me just say this real quick. Young Garcia, that was one of the things, bro. Barca volume and Omar, bro. This is the thing, like sweeping is very important in this Hansi Flick system, and he's actually very quick off his line. Like out of the 4 goalkeepers that we have, him and Inaki Pena are the fastest off the line. But then you add the elite shot stopping, and you know what? Barca volume, Miguel. This is what I said already, right? I said Young Garcia's positioning is so underrated because he doesn't look like he's making a world-class save, but he always makes the save because he's just there. He's just there. His positioning is so
yeah,
well,
his
and
positioning.
I'm happy
What?
we have him. He's good at everything, and
Yeah,
even his
but
passing, man.
I gotta tell you, one thing I wanted to see, and I was so excited to watch Joan Garcia. I was
Mm.
so bummed out when the story came out that he had an injury, not because of the game necessarily. I just wanted to see him in that shirt and see what he was gonna play like, see if the nerves were gonna get the best of him. People don't realize those are humanity things. Like that, like it's so easy to be nervous coming into a team like this. Like he's so used to playing for a lower tier team, but dude, there was none of that. And not
Yep.
only that, but I was so intrigued to see how he was going to play with the Highline. And after I saw what I saw, I mean, he played it so perfectly. He's reading the game. I didn't see the games in Espanol, right? For example, he's so used to having a low block set up for him to where like I don't understand why he's so good intercepting passes, long passes to the final third. Because
Right.
every time I saw Mallorca throwing a long ball, and if it was a 50-50, I mean Joan Garcia's flying to the final third, intercepted, whether that was with his head or with his feet, and he was getting to the spot before the attackers from Mallorca
Yes,
were getting to the
and I
spot. If you
loved it.
know what I mean.
His like his reaction time is so quick. He gets
As
there
soon as
before
the
the
ball would hit there, he was already there. Like that's probably like 30 yards away from the goal. That's how
yep.
much decision making. Did you guys notice that? Did you guys notice how he was always intercepting, and he was,
Dude,
whether that was even leaving the box
Facts.
or staying
he,
in the box?
he was moving like a Neuer, prime Neuer, bro, with the interceptions coming off the line, coming out of his box, completely out of the box, and always getting it right. I'm like, bro, with the timing, like, because you know what that is? That is ball IQ. For me, that shows how inept you are at your job. That you're not just a shot stopper, but you also know when to get out of your box. You're not always reckless. You're not always trying to get out of your box and potentially risk losing the ball, right? He's always like, okay, cool. You guys
And
ready?
you know where it is also? He's just like, he's so locked in because the highline system, the goalkeeper has to be like, he has to know when it's time to go because we've seen red cards for the goalkeepers like Chesney, right? We've seen it before. So, Jan Garcia, I was very impressed. And honestly, I'm not really surprised, guys.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
calling out for a goalkeeper, and we finally got our one.
as Barcelona fans, man, we deserve this because we have
Yes.
had so many years, and hopefully, like he can keep this up because it's gonna be hard to live up to this performance that he had in this first one. But the one thing that it is true though, that he seems to be adapting to the Highland exceptionally well. I was very, very impressed. I think if Lamine Yamal didn't score that goal in the last minute, he
Mhm.
was my man of the match, 1,000%. Because everybody else, I thought it was a little, it was like a little off night for everybody. Even Rafinha, it was a
I said
classic
it,
Rafinha.
bro. I was
Even
getting cooked.
even Rafinha had a classic Rafinha game where he doesn't have the best game, but he
But
has
he
the
still
stats to show for
scores.
it. Yeah, he
And that's
always.
and we talked about this on Coolest Culture. I was like, you know what it is, right? I'm not expecting young Rafinha to put 10 out of 10 because let's be real, right? For most of the second half of last season, he kind of fell off, but he was still scoring goals. And I was like, you know what, bro? If that is gonna be your game, I love it because it shows that listen, man. I don't need you to always turn up. Yamal can do the turning up and dribbling and becoming the menace. You know what I want you to do? I want you to be in the right place and the right time every single time, like you were yesterday. You saw that header, bro. Free header. He reacted to that before the
Quality.
defenders. Literally, bro.
Yeah,
The cross
yeah.
comes in. Where was the defense? He doesn't care. Don't care. He's already in the box. Free header into the box. No defense on side. That's what I want to see from you. If you're not in the game, you can just turn up. Let the defense forget you're there, bro. But you are always there. You are at the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love that about him. Right?
No, it was an incredible game. Hopefully he can keep this up, like I said, because obviously we're gonna need a goalkeeper. Do we need a goalkeeper as good as
Yes.
Joan Garcia? And the fact that we have him, dude, he looks like he's grinding out every play, like he's
He knows
fighting for
he's playing for the badge.
every 50-50 he was there, and
Yes.
just the decisiveness. And I think I saw somebody put up a stat like where he had. Uh, 100% accurate passes with his feet, 100 accurate passes with his arm, and I think it was there was like two saves or something like that. But it was like showing all his numbers and everything he did was perfect on this game. Like it was incredible. But it's worth of note, and it's the first game of the season. We can't really criticize all the players too much. We won against Valencia on the first game. It was only 1-0. I mean 2-0. 2-1 actually. It was
2-1, yeah.
2-1, and it was a Lewandowski brace. The team didn't even play great that game,
Yeah, we
and
do. We remember.
Valencia wasn't even good that season. So the first game is just about getting the 3 points, get that confidence going. I think we don't have to be overly critical. I did like Araujo, not as much as a lot of people didn't like him.
Yeah,
Um, I, I
can I speak about that real quick?
To be
I
fair,
was surprised that I thought Araujo played well,
I
but
think
a lot of
Araujo
people said that he
defensively he
didn't.
did his. Don't get it twisted.
I'll put it to
Defensively,
you like this:
yeah.
Araujo is the one player who's being looked at with the magnifying glass, and I've already said this, and this is going to be a theme the whole season. And
Yeah.
I understand what fans are coming from. Like I know what they're saying. Like, look, the problem with Araujo is that he was making too many fouls in this game, and he was getting into his own way. Sometimes he's too big, he's too strong. He don't doesn't. He's like a beast that doesn't know how to control himself.
Right.
And there was a couple of times where the referee could have given him a yellow, and he didn't. It was he was leaving his area way too much and cutting into the midfield, and was trying to kind of intercept balls, but it was he was making too many fouls around that area too. So like a few times on his feet, you can see how much he lacks ability on the ball. His build-up play is basically non-existent. Like
Yeah.
every time he tried to pass, he couldn't do it. But other than that, like when it comes to defending, which is actually his job, I thought he was good. He was good, not great. I don't want to be overly critical
Yeah.
because I'm gonna trust in Flick. I would have started Christensen, but since Flick is going to start him, a lot of people forget Omar and Jonas. A lot of people forget this.
Hmm.
But last season, when Flick came into the team, it was gonna be Araujo and Kubarsi. And
As a
Araujo
partnership,
started the
yes.
season.
Yeah.
Araujo started the season. So Araujo is regarded as a starter in this team, but it was forgotten because of how great Inigo Martinez covered for him when he got injured. Inigo Martinez comes in 3 games into the season and never looks back
Yep.
because he had an incredible year, and Araujo has been pretty much in the doghouse ever since. So now Flick kind of wants to probably give him a solid and give him that vote of trust. And now I'm like I'm not gonna over criticize
No,
Araujo for
don't get
this
it
game.
twisted. I'm like you. See, this is the thing, your Barca volume, because you had a lot of things you said, right? I said this yesterday on my watch along. I said it on my watch along. The moment Araujo learns about what Flick wants from him in this high line, I think this guy will be the best defender in the league. Because I've said this before.
If he does,
As a defender,
With
just
Xavi,
as
he was one of the top CVs in the world.
that is my point.
my
And
point.
we know this because we've seen what he did on the Javi. We know this guy is still a top defender. As a defender, I've said it as a center back, right? He is one of the best center backs in the world. He's tackling 10 out of 10. Even yesterday in the game yesterday, I feel like he was winning all his tackles well. He wasn't committing reckless fouls. He wasn't doing any of that, right? I think the only criticism that I feel a lot of people have on him, and this is the one thing they've always had on him, especially on the Flick, is that they always say he's always the one that's keeping the opposition on side. He's always the one. I'm like, bro, he will have to get that out of his game. Maybe he needs to play more because sometimes you can keep telling the player this and this. Sometimes they have to keep playing with the team, and they always have to be in the back line so that they can
Just have to
understand
get
when
more
and where to be.
reps.
Yeah,
He couldn't get into a rhythm last season. At the same thing that happened with Gavi. And Gavi, dude, he's low key knocking on the door in this team. Like Gavi this season is if he keeps this up, he's going to be making very tough
Facts.
for Hansi Flick because he was the best player in the preseason. He came into the second game. He created 2 chances. Fermin and Dani Olmo, for example, they both combined 90 minutes played, 0 chances created. How can Gavi come in the second half of 20 minutes and get an assist and another chance created? That's 2 chances created
yeah.
for
Gavi is
Gavi.
definitely knocking on the door. That is true. He cooked
That
in
is
the
true.
preseason. In the
So
preseason, he was our best player on preseason, and yesterday he played well. So yeah, you're right. He is definitely cooking.
You know where it is.
especially,
I wanted to say this real quick, right? I've said it. I said it earlier this live. I want Gavi, Casado, right now, later Mark Bernal to push Frankie De Jong, really push him for the spot because what I saw today, Gavi's making a real push, man. Like Dani Olmo got subbed on and didn't have a good game, and then Fermin Lopez he got the start. Everybody wanted him to start. And he didn't do anything. Let's be honest. So Gavi's knocking on the door. And going back to Araujo, you're right. The magnifying glass is such a good term because I feel like that Fermin and Dani Olmo, and there are so many guys that played worse than him, but he
Yeah,
was putting
Furman
them
didn't
out.
play well yesterday either. He was
So
not playing. He didn't play well for that one.
yeah, I just wanted to point it out.
no, yeah, Fermin, to me, it was really disappointing because I banged my table for Fermin to
Yes.
start, and he's a lot of people say that he's not a good starter, and he's proving those people right, and that's kind of a bummer to me. I thought this was a game that he needed to show something to Hansi Flick, but obviously, like it's so hard because as soon as Dani Olmo comes in, you can see that Dani Olmo was playing a little better than Fermin was the whole game. And Dani Olmo on an off night because he didn't have a good game. Dani Olmo wasn't really doing anything. He hits the woodwork. He shows class when he has the ball,
Right.
and in just a few moments, he shows like so much, even with he's not playing good, he's still showing you something, and that's why Dani Olmo is going to play over Firmino to me going forward. I think in the next game, Hansi Flick is going to start Dani Olmo.
Ah, good
Yeah.
with you, man.
And you know what? You can't really be too mad because listen, I also said I want Fermi to start this game, right? Go with the hot hand, go with the guy who scored 2 amazing goals against Como and the young Gamper. But man, if you don't back it up, and it was honestly, it's a no-show and it's against 9 men, right? It's not hating, but dude, I think Dani Olmo might get the start against Levante, and I don't think people can really complain. But
I mean,
we'll
that's
see.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah. But I
That's
was
fine.
kind of a bit disappointed against
People,
9 men.
it's like this, bro. Like, people don't realize how much, like, the difference between a good player and a great player, it's inches and not feet. And somebody said that, I can't remember who it was, because I listen to a lot of sports analysts, right? The difference between great and good is it's inches and not feet, and that inch is the consistency. And
Yes.
that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, when you can play on a consistent basis, this is why Lamine Yamal can carry a team like Barcelona, for example, because he is a great player. And why is he great? Because not because of what he can do. It's because what he can do, he does it every game. And that's the difference. That's the difference. When you have a great player, you're supposed to do that every game, not just one game. And I'm not talking about just goals. Lamine Jamal didn't score a lot of goals last season. It's about performance. Okay, Fermin, you're not going to score. Okay, can you create me an assist? Can you create me 3 chances at least? Even if it's not okay. A lot of times people talk about the pre-assist, right? The pre-assist that everybody makes fun of.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
the
positive.
pre-assist, at the very least, what a pre-assist tells you is that you're creating chances for your team.
It's like
So
Pedri. Pedri is the king of the pre-assist. Like, how many times does
exactly.
he? Yeah, that's why we love him, because he's always the one that creates everything for the assist to be made to the goal
And
scorer.
that's what I mean. So I'm okay with Fermin if he's not going to score, but at least you got to give me something, man. When I'm looking at the stat sheet at the end of the game, Dani Olmo and Fermin Lopez, 0 chances created. As a number 10, you can't have that. You have to create at least. Dude, Leo Messi on his last legs will create at least 4 chances for Barcelona every game.
Yep,
Every
yep,
game, dude.
yep.
Every single game. He knows how to get his edge. He knows how to pass. He knows how to create. So what I'm saying to you is, like, we need to have that train of thought when it comes to Fermin, because he's really inconsistent sometimes. That's the only thing that gets me, man. Like, almost more consistent, but he's more injured. So at the same time, it's like, damn, man. Like, it just sucks. What is up, my man, Dali? What's going on?
That says you're getting a 10.
Hey, are you getting a 10, Miguel?
A little
Man
bit,
is getting
yeah.
a, hey, listen, man. It's hey, listen, man. I'm
I
jealous
don't
'cause
need
this
a
guy.
10.
Hey, listen,
Nah, I
man.
don't
Hey,
think
listen, listen. You gotta enjoy the sun while you still have it, because the sun is about to go away very soon. Let's be real. It's about to get cold all over the US. So enjoy the sun, man. Enjoy the hot sun. I'll just say that as a value.
Thank
But
you,
yeah,
man. I'm gonna get out. It was just nice talking to you guys. I gotta get to something else right now, but I just wanted to
appreciate you,
stop
man.
by and
Yeah, big up, bro.
let you
Yeah,
guys
big
know
up,
my
big up.
thoughts.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you so much, man. We're gonna do something very, very soon on
Yeah,
the channel.
of course.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, man, appreciate my guy Basa Volume. Listen, guys, we're gonna be wrapping up very, very soon. Appreciate every single one of you, man. Says I could go for a tan. Listen, man, you need to, man. Try to get some tan before the end of the
Valley, bro,
before the
you're
sun
in
goes away.
Miami, bro. You're in Miami.
Because
Might as well,
how
bro.
are you complaining about tan when you live in Florida? Seriously, Daddy, come on. I'm in A
Come
town.
on,
I'm
man.
in Atlanta. I'm not in a nice city. I don't know what you're talking about. But hey, yo, appreciate my guy Dali. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Dali FC, man. But yeah, man, listen, Jonas, tell the people what's coming up on your channel, bro. You got something coming up?
Listen, I got probably a video coming tomorrow, right? Yeah, video coming tomorrow, and then maybe a live the day after, right? So I'm gonna try to do something, right? Omar, I think I'm gonna try something, maybe another 1-to-1, maybe a panel show. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
But
sure, man.
yeah,
Mhm.
another live, right? Video in the coming days, and then match preview, and we go again, another watch along. Listen, Levante, my challenge to Barcelona, Omar, was let's start off 3 of 3 heading into the international break. Let's go 3 for 3, right, in La Liga. Go
Oh
to
yeah,
the international
that's the
break.
plan.
Hopefully not get injuries and come back in September looking strong. So Yeah.
100%, 100%. But yeah, Yasin says which player is most quoted Barca player that never played for Barca? For me, is David Silva and Verratti. That's a good one. I love
Oh,
David
Travis
Silva.
Silva's a shot.
David Silva is one of my favorite players that never played for Barcelona. I would have
Yeah.
loved him. Verratti is another one. Verratti, yes, I hear that. I hear that. But
You
David
know
Silva, for
what?
me, I feel like he's more tailor made.
Only Barca says a good one. Isco, man. I loved watching Isco. Like
Yeah,
he was
I would have
natural
loved
in
Isco at
form.
Barcelona. I love Isco is one
Oh
of my
my
favorite
god.
players. Like in general, Isco is one of my favorite players. Like I don't care if he played for Real Madrid. He was my favorite, and he was a Barca fan growing up, man. That was one of the biggest
Bro.
what ifs. If we have had, he would have been my favorite player, man. I love that guy. What a player.
Yep.
But yeah, listen, appreciate every single one of you guys who have been on this stream, guys. You guys have been absolutely killing it. Thank you so much for being here, guys. This has been the Blaugrana Talk, guys. Listen, guys. Now that the season is open, I'm gonna be doing more panel Barcelona shows, guys. Okay, we're gonna be doing more Barca shows because there's not enough of it. Obviously, Coolest Culture is great, watch alongs are great, but I want to bring more Barcelona shows on this channel. Obviously, Blaugrana Buzz. I haven't done Blaugrana Buzz in a while. I might have to bring it back later on this week. But yeah, appreciate every single one of you guys who have been here, man. Appreciate every single one of you guys who is live, who we can really direct to. Let me see. I think Northside was live. If Northside is still live, I'll
Let's
redirect
see
him.
who's live. Let's see who's live.
Yeah, Northside is still live. All right, so let's redirect you guys to Northside LD and my guy Northside every single time, man. But appreciate every single one of you guys who have been on this stream. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel on your way out, guys. And yeah, man, big up to every single one of you guys. Let me see, how many likes are we on? Are we on 40 yet, guys? We are literally 6 likes away from 40, guys. Get me to 40 before we get out of here. But appreciate every single one of you guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. And like I always say whenever I end these streams, guys, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalonia, and peace, you guys. Take care.